So most Cambridge and IB students spend hundreds of hours studying before exams and still don't get that A star or a 7. It is not because you are not smart enough or you didn't work hard enough. It is because you were never taught how your brain actually learns. Hello learner, I am Karishma and I have been a Cambridge and IB facilitator for over past 12 years. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact 3-step system, what I call the KAPREPS method, that my students use to go from predicted C's or a 4 to confirmed A stars or 7. So if you are appearing for exams in the next few weeks or months, do not close this video. The common mistakes that I am about to describe could be costing you entire grade boundary. So now let me tell you why I care about this so much. So before I became a facilitator, I started helping learners use the science-backed skill-based strategies to transform their grades. I was a student too, who studied 14 hours a day for one of the India's most competitive entrance exam. I had every resource, every coaching material, every test paper, and I was still not doing as great as I was putting in efforts for. It was not because I was lazy, it was not because I wasn't trying enough, but later I realized it was because I was using methods that actively work against how memory forms. So when I started helping my students in Cambridge and IB and AP curriculum across different countries, I saw the exact same pattern that I had seen in myself. Brilliant, hardworking kids, grinding for months, walking into exams unprepared. And that is when I knew the problem wasn't the student, it was the system or the methodology that nobody taught them. And here's the part that shocked even me, a trained educator, facilitator, when I first read the research to help my learners get top grades at their exam without burning out. That is when I started building so much trust amongst my parents and student community in grade transformations. Let me talk about that research. Harvard's Make It Stick study found that 85% of students use methods that create the illusion of knowing and feeling confident about the material they can't actually retrieve under exam pressure. You know this feeling, right? You read a chapter, you think, I know this. You sit for the paper and the answer just doesn't come. And that's not the memory problem or the application problem or the concept and understanding problem. That is a method problem. For Cambridge and IB students especially, this is dangerous because you are juggling 8 to 10 subjects with application-based learning strategies, with completely different assessment styles, and most of you are spending that limited time highlighting, rereading, and summarizing. The 3 methods ranked 8, 9, and 10 out of 10 in Delansky's comprehensive study on learning effectiveness. So now let me talk about the science. 2 findings, and this changes everything. First finding by the scientist named as Ebbinghaus in 1885. Proven and still valid today. When you use passive methods, you forget 56% of new information within 1 hour. And within 24 hours, 77% gone. And that means most of what you studied yesterday, it's already fading. Now, the second scientist and the second finding by Roediger, Washington University, published a science journal for 200 students, and those who tested themselves instead of rereading scored 50% higher on assessments across multiple subjects. So your Cambridge and IB exams aren't testing recognition. Do you remember seeing this? They are testing retrieval under pressure. Can you produce this without a prompt? And that difference is the entire reason some students get an A star and others get a B, doing the same hours, investing the same amount of time. So before I show you the exact method, let me tell you about Arhan. So Arhan came to me predicting a 5 in IB mathematics, but his final exams he got a 7, the top score. But more importantly, he reduced his daily study time by 3 hours while doubling his problem solving accuracy. He definitely didn't study more, but he studied differently when he was sitting with KAPREPS science-backed skill-based educators, helping them to go up the ladder. Now, I call this the KAPREPS method, and it runs on 3 science-backed steps. Step number 1, strategic curriculum deconstruction. Most students study content, A star or a 7 students study what examiners rewards. Open your IGCSE, A-levels or IB mark scheme, not the syllabus, the mark scheme, and reverse engineer command words like analyze, evaluate, explain with reference to each one has a formula. Learn that formula, not just the content. Step 2. Active retrieval protocol. Close every resource. For IGCSE biology, for example, for IGCSE bio, write everything you remember about photosynthesis from scratch. For IB chemistry, solve an equilibrium problem without your formula sheet. It will feel harder for sure, and that's exactly why it works. Roediger's research shows that this single switch is 300% more effective than passive review. The third step is optimized review cycles. Based on Ebbinghaus spaghetti curve, review new material after 1 day, then 3 days, and then 1 week, and then 2 weeks. Your brain consolidates memory during these gaps and not during the study session itself. And that is what exactly I train KAPREPS educator for, and that is one of the core reasons why we are able to strategize an A star or a 7. And let me make this concrete. The wrong way to do this is, let's say you are doing IGCSE bio, rereading the photosynthesis chapter 5 times and color coding your notes. Don't do that. The KAPREPS educator, or I would say the KAPREPS way, is read once, close the book, write everything you know in a blank page, then check. Review that page after 24 hours and then 72 hours. The wrong way of doing IB math is 50 similar calculus problem in one sitting. No. In every KAPREPS class, we do 5 varied problems. Wait for 24 hours, reattempt without solutions. That gap between sessions is where long-term memory actually forms. Same method, different subjects, and same grade transformation. And here's what I want you to remember from this video now. A star or a 7 is a process. It's not a mystery. It's not a talent, or it's not something you are born with. Dolonsky's comprehensive study published in Psychological Science in the public interest ranked 10 learning techniques by effectiveness. The first one is active recall. The second one is spaced repetition. The third one is highlighting and rereading, what most students do every single night. That is round 8 or 9. You definitely do not need more hours. You need the right system. And if you are a part of KAPREPS ecosystem, this is the system that you are taught. It will not only help you at the current level to transform your grades, but it is something that is going to be there with you lifelong in your universities as well. I hope this video was helpful. Subscribe for more research-backed A star or 7 strategies for Cambridge and IB learners. Watch this next video when I break down the exact mark scheme formula across Cambridge, IB and AP that most students never see until it's too late. See you in the next video.